James Flippin for 77 WABC News.
WABC. 77 WABC's Staten Island law firm of Julie and Gentili John time is 1234. For 40 years, the Staten Island law firm of Julie and Gentili has been helping people just like you. Call 718-816-0005 or visit aglawnyc.com.
From New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. So a question I have often asked myself, trying to be real with myself. And I don't know. I'm curious as to what do you folks think I would do. A new show is starting, right? This is a hypothetical situation. And I get calls like this from time to time. But a new television show is starting. Dominic, we want you to be one of the central characters of the show. And this is the way these shows go down. You don't just give your opinion. They say, we want you to come from the left. We want you to come from the center right. We want you to come from the far right. Everybody has a car, meaning a chauffeur driving car, full makeup, full hair, even though I don't have hair left, full wardrobe. I was off of that before in television and had that for a while. But if I was off with a full wardrobe, $2.5 million a year, and all the things that come with it. Dominic, will you be willing to come from the far left? And folks, I'm not one of these phonies. 2.5 million is 2.5 million. But I don't think I could do it. I don't think that I could do it. I don't think I could stomach it. Now, my wife probably would say, are you out of your mind? 2.5 million a year? You better take that money. You want that house in Saddle River, New Jersey, right? You want that mansion in Saddle River, New Jersey. Well, you better take that money. You'll live. You'll live. I remember, you go through ups and downs in life. And I remember a conversation my wife had with me. And she said, this is about 20 years ago, 15, 20 years. She goes, Dominic, are those people on the left paying your bills? You have a lot of bills. Are they paying your bills? No, I can't tell you the next thing she said. She said, well, F. And she didn't use the word F. Okay? So I don't think I could do it. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Sunny Hope, she cannot believe. I think she believes like 70% of that nonsense that she talks. Now remember, folks, the game is, I'm just throwing that 2.5 million out there. 2.5 million plus from the far left, the Speakers Bureau, you're going to make another 200,000 in just speeches a year. So now you're at 2.7. In other words, you can pay for your house with just your speaking engagements when you fulfill these roles on these television shows. I say all of that to say, I don't think I could do it, even for 2.5 million. So here's the latest example of Sunny Holston. She is upset about the qualifications of President Trump's cabinet because there are white people in his cabinet.
Anyway, let's face it, is Pete Hegseth really the best person to be running the Department of Defense? He was supposed to surround himself with all the best people because DEI, diversity and inclusion, is wrong. It looks like he's got a pretty non-diverse cabinet that's just completely unqualified and doesn't have any merit.
So she obviously sounds like a fool and a clown. But folks, remember, she's paid to be that fool and a clown by ABC to come from the far left. And then she makes another few $100,000 on the speaking circuit nationally, if you're willing to travel and do that. So in other words, it's show me the money. Coach Belichick, North Carolina. Matt Blaze and I tried to warn him, messing with this young girl. We tried to warn him. He didn't listen. Was pushed out in New England. as coach of the Patriots. It's not working out in North Carolina. The young girl is running buck wild. You would think she's the coach. You would think she's the coach. And, reports that he spent millions buying her real estate hall coach. Now think about this, folks. Coach Belichick in New England, they won all these Super Bowl rings. The number one thing he had to preach was discipline to his players. He didn't like going before the cameras. That's what he sounded like, right? And then, Coach, you meet this young girl, and these boots ain't made for walking because she's got you whipped wide open. I want you to listen to this, folks. This is right here a sports person by the name of Pablo Torre, and he says the reason why Bill Belichick does not have a NFL coaching job comes down to teams did not trust him for the people that he would have around him.
The reason I was told that Belichick did not get any NFL jobs, right? So logically, you'd think also, like, isn't it weird that, like, he reached the end of the line with New England and he can't get a job in the NFL? It's because, A, he wanted to be the GM and the coach.
And wasn't a very good GM most of his tenure.
And what NFL teams told me is that what they stopped trusting was Bill Belichick's ability to surround himself with the right people. As in, they didn't trust who he would bring into the building.
All right, Matt Blaze and Tony, guys, we see all the calls. We're going to get to the calls. Norman's been holding for a little bit. I'm going to get to Norman. We see Michael on the east side, George, Long Island, Dave, Comac. Dave, Trump. Dave, put a sock in it. All you ever do is call and say negative things about Trump. Go eat some turkey and put a sock in it. Also, Xander in Manhattan. But guys, Matt Blaze, we tried to warn you. It's the oldest trick in the book. You get to be middle-aged, you get to be and these young girls come a-calling, these boots ain't made for walking. Guys, what happened here to Coach Belichick?
He got caught by the Venus flytrap.
He got caught by something.
Yes. She put the heebie-jeebies on him. Coach Bill, look at me. I'm a cheerleader. Jordan, I'm Jordan. Look at me. Buy me a house. Buy me 2 houses. Let me go on your arm. So, his daughter-in-law went off.
Oh, yeah, she went off.
And because his son is a coordinator, I don't know if it's defensive, offensive, defense. Yeah, for the team.
Yes.
And she went off, and his wife went off and said, fire him, meaning his son. I don't care if you fire him, and went off on this Jordan Hudson. And now she's saying she's going to sue Pablo for what he's been saying.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
But guys, it's the oldest trick. Come on, guys. I don't mean to hurt Coach's feelings. But, Coach, she's looking at them young bucks that you coach. She ain't thinking about you except for your daddy deep pockets. I mean, what could be going... She got him whipped like that?
I think so. There's no way I'm dating someone that young. When I go out, I date someone in my age bracket, okay? Someone that can relate to watching cartoons on Saturdays, know what a 45 record is. She doesn't know none of that.
Wait, Tony, I wouldn't say watching cartoons.
I'm just being real,
But I like the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Things are so crazy, I can't even watch an NFL game anymore.
I fall asleep, Us living in New York, the Giants and the Jets, they're scrubs, so.
So I'm not the only one that falls asleep?
No, you're not alone, my man.
You know what I have to listen to at home all the time? My wife is always like, all right, old man, it's your daily nap time. And then when I say something slick, something sexual, she'll go, would you like something else to eat?
Whoa.
Is that a sign I'm an old man?
Yes.
I don't understand with this young girl thing. This young girl.
I don't get it either, but hey, to each his own.
I mean, I don't mean to be this graphic. Coach, when you two are being intimate, do you really think that she's thinking about you, Coach? Hell no.
Why are you putting that image in my head, though? I don't think about Coach Belichick. Well, he's ruining his legacy.
I mean,
Ending it in North Carolina as a college coach, you had this great run with the Patriots, whether it be because of Tom Brady or no one would have ever known. Because now everyone just thinks, well, if you didn't have Brady, you wouldn't have been this great. But no one would have known that if you didn't decide to go to North Carolina, become a coach, have a losing record, get hooked up with this young girl, and have your family yelling at you, saying that she's controlling everything, and the media and all of us looking at it going, sure looks that way, Coach Belichick. You should have just stopped while you were ahead.
You know, several of our female listeners have said to me via email and so on, what she be whispering in his ear, you know, during intimacy, you know.
Okay.
And I guess she makes him feel like $1 million. You know, I guess the money's not important to him.
Take a look at his bank statements. He's already a millionaire.
This is true. He keeps messing around with her.
Oh, he's going to be homeless.
He's going to be homeless. He keeps messing around with her.
You know, since all the stuff that's going on within his family, I just can imagine how Thanksgiving dinner is going to be tomorrow.
Oh.
Let's get ready to rumble.
So, guys, if I ever go down that road, slap the heck out of me and say, get over it.
No, with pleasure. I'm gonna have my Louisville Slugger. I'm going for the kneecaps, like my man. We're not doing this, Don.
We're not doing
But
this.
Tony, I love it. My man, I said we're not doing this. Get in the car. Okay? Stop it. Knock it off. Snap out of it.
Thank you, guys. Let me, so, Coach, please wake up before you don't have any money left. Because, Coach, you're going to find out if she really loves you when your bank account is on zero. And she's going to be like, leave me. You're the weakest link. I don't like you. I don't want to be around you. Bye-bye, loser. Norman in Brooklyn. Line, what's on your mind, Norman?
Man, I think you, Tony, and Matt, man, I think you guys are jealous, man. I mean, that chick is a piece. I mean, I envy Coach Belichick.
Wait, Norman, my brother Norman. First of all, I heard something about you. I'm going to get to it in a second, about your plans for tomorrow, Thanksgiving. But, Norman, eye candy, that don't mean she's a great lover. Norman, you know that. You can be the greatest looking woman in the world. That don't mean in the middle of the night that you got it going on.
I mean, he's got this whole fantasy thing going. That's all I can tell you. I would have it.
You would do it? You would do it? Wait, you would spend your money to have that young girl near you?
I'd have Belichick money. If I had Belichick money, maybe I would. But, you know, Belichick's got enough money after all those Super Bowls that he don't give a damn.
But eventually you have to care because your pockets are not that deep. That young girl's going to run through every dime you have.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Belichick's kind of up there in age. I don't know, and he does not appear to me to be in the greatest of health. So he may have a 10-year window, and he just doesn't give a damn. I mean, obviously he doesn't give a damn, and more power to him, man.
Well, we tried to warn him. It says here on my screen you want to talk about Joy Reid.
Oh, yeah, that Reid chick, she's going to hell. She's going to hell. I mean, that is about the most vile thing I ever heard come out of somebody's mouth. That he's going to theorizing that Vance is gonna divorce Usha because she's brown. That is just vile.
And not only that, and then go to Charlie Kirk's widow. And then you're making fun of Charlie Kirk's widow because you say she's not dressing like a widow. Who the hell are you to determine how somebody dresses?
That's all I can say. I mean, enjoy your money now, but she's going to hell. I mean, the devil's waiting for her. That's all I can say.
Fair enough, Norman. Thank you so much for the telephone call. I see all your other calls. I'm looking at my messages. Let's see. So wait, I gotta go back to one. Nikki says here, good morning, Dom. Wait, I'm trying to get this right, Nikki. I'm trying to get this right in this phone. Okay, she says, good morning, Dominic. Those menopausal hyenas are so disgusting to listen to. How the hell do they know what's going on with the vice president's marriage? And what's worse is what they're talking about is is so vile. I can't see the rest of it as it relates to Charlie Kirk's widow. And I'm trying to get to, I think it's a message from Yetta, and Yetta said, I think it's Yetta says that my phone, this iPhone, is not cooperating with me right now. I'll have this corrected in just a moment, and we'll have more of your telephone calls.
It's Dominic Carter.
This holiday season, some children will wake up to quiet homes and nothing under the tree. Since 1947, the Marines and volunteers for Toys for Tots have delivered more than 700 million toys, bringing joy, dignity, and hope to children in need across America. Your gift of a new, unwrapped toy or a donation online reminds every child they are seen, valued, and loved. Because every child deserves a little Christmas. Visit toysfortots.org to give today. If you want real American beef, born, raised, and processed in the USA, then you want Freedom Farms. No imports, no fillers, just farm fresh beef from upstate New York, shipped nationwide. Stock your freezer with an entire cow or a half of a cow. Or grab just a box of premium steaks and burgers. Right now, new customers get $25 off with promo code MAGA. Go to wearefreedomfarms.com. Use code MAGA for $25 off. That's promo code MAGA. Freedom Farms, America's beef, delivered every year. Over 1 million older adults end up in the hospital from falls and injuries. And for decades, they told us the solution is simple: more calcium and vitamin D. But those supplements don't help bone health like they say. And too much calcium can even create other problems. The good news is, there's a nutrient hiding in plain sight that helps rebuild bone density and stop bone loss. Blow your doctor away with your next DEXA scan results. Just go to getnativepath.com/go and get up to 45% off today. GETNATIVEPATH.com/go.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors the courage and sacrifice of America's heroes. Heroes like United States Army Lieutenant Colonel Christy Rabus. Christy served our country with unwavering dedication for 20 years as a combat nurse. After a 6-year battle with service-related cancer, Christy's life was tragically cut short. She leaves behind her husband, Stephen, and their 2 children, Jack and Stella. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the Rabus family's home. Help more families like Christy's. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
And this is the Dominic Carter Show, 77 WABC. I'm still not over how Mamdani acted towards President Trump at the White House.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
You can just say
Okay.
it's easier than explaining. It's terrifying.
Meanwhile, Bill Maher on his HBO show slamming Democrats, and rightfully so, for telling military members they can disobey Trump administration orders.
Did you see the thing about the 6 Democrats who are all military service and intelligence work in their background said, look, you don't have to follow orders? I don't know about that. Now, I understand what they mean, because this thing with Venezuela is not legal. But what do you think about telling people in the armed services you don't have to follow orders? Now, Trump, of course, went ballistic and said, George Washington would have hung them. Sedition, death. You know, he goes right to that, and then today he walked it back. I didn't mean death. You said death.
Yeah. And meanwhile, those lawmakers have to reach out to the U.S. Capitol Police, the House Sergeant at Arms, because they're getting death threats, because they're afraid. And look, Senator Mark Kelly,
getting death threats?
those members,
Oh, that's right,
Elizabeth
right.
Slotkin, Mark Kelly, who's married to Gabby Gifford. I mean, to get death threats, he understands.
Bill Maher on his HBO show. This is the Dominic Carter Show, 77 WABC.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
So I had wrong. It was Helen Barrow that on my Twitter, on my X, that talked about being burned. She says, you are so very right, so passionate about women being criminally burned by multiple repeat criminals. I was burned age 7 by hot soup. She capitalizes the word hot soup. Ooh, that had to be painful. From a boiling pot for 20 kindergarten girls in the Shield of David orphanage I grew up in, 6 to 17 years old, accident by our cook, Pain. Yetter, our house teacher, spent her career as a teacher. Yetter, oh, pull out the violin. Yetter, that violin for the girl in Chicago that has apologized for being a little animal. Yetter says, I believe the child. She was just being a follower. Putting her in jail will not result in her never doing it again. Yeah, but it'll make us in society feel good. Lock her little butt up for 3 to 4 days. Not in jail, Yetta, in the juvenile home. We'll lock her up. Yetta goes on to say she will just get angry. Oh, Yetta. And maybe the next time she will be bold enough to be the leader of similar or worse activity. Or Yetta, we might scare her straight and she might be a productive citizen in society. So before I go to this next call, I think Dave and Comac has a problem here, this Trump derangement syndrome. So before we go to Dave, let me do this in advance.
Dominic is done with you.
All right, Dave, line 4. Tell me how Trump is the devil today.
By the way, I have to respond to your comment about the turkey. I don't eat turkey. I eat Italian food.
Oh, Italian food. Italian food is great. But tell me now, it's a daily review. How is Trump the devil today?
The fact that he goes into Venezuela and starts bombing boats without any concrete specifics.
That's wonderful.
Drugs.
It's wonderful. Blow them all up.
You can't do that without.
Yeah, well, he's doing it. He's doing it. Blow them up. Blow them up. So, Dave, you want to see 13-year-old girls from Vermont and Maine turned out and be on the corner tricking because they have a bad drug habit that came in because of these drugs? Is that what you want?
Let me tell you something. If Governor Hochul was so concerned about the drugs, she would have never legalized recreational marijuana.
Okay, you didn't answer my question. You just sidestepped my question. You know the problem in Vermont with these young, innocent girls turned out doing tricks on the corner to get money to get high. So that's the answer?
But let me respond to that by saying that just because that's happening, there is no concrete proof that those drugs came from Venezuela.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Dave, I'm short on time. Thank you for the call. Happy Thanksgiving. Trump is doing the right thing. Blow those boats up. Let's go to Xander, line 5, Manhattan. Xander, what's on your mind?
How you doing, Dominic? Man, yo, I'm going to tell you something, man. I think that little girl, you know, what she did, I think she should be done to time, man. Do for the juvenile hall. And it's
the elementary school girl in Chicago.
How old is she, by the way, right in here?
I don't know. But the adult that was standing next to her as she apologized, where were you when this little girl was acting like, you know?
I'm going to say this, man. You know, these kids are getting out of control. And, you know,
wait, Xander, you're wrong about that. They're not getting out of control. They're completely, fully out of control. No, they're already out of control.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't know whether she's like 9 or maybe 11. I'm not sure. But, you know, she should ultimately pay the price for the crime that she did.
Absolutely.
It was very wrong.
Absolutely, Xander. Thank you for the call. I'm moving to move as fast as I can. Let's go to George, line 3, Long Island. George, you got 30 seconds. Hit it, quit it, and we're done.
Dominic, in my experience working in the courts, criminal division, the girls used to get in trouble because of the boys they hang around with. As I got to retire, the girls became just as bad. That's all I want to say.
They became just as bad. Okay, well, thank you for the call. Let me squeeze in Kenny in Virginia. Kenny, you got 15 seconds. Go right ahead.
You say 3 days. I say a good 7 days. That's all that got.
I love you, Kenny. Send that little criminal to juvenile hall. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. For 7 days, the call of the morning from Kenny in Virginia. Kenny, I love you. Lock her up for 7 days. That's what should happen. I'm back 3 p.m. Eastern.
The 77 WABC's Staten Island law firm of Anjuli and Gentili John time is 12:59.
The Staten Island law firm of Anjuli and Gentili, helping people just like you for 40 years. Walk with confidence. Call 718-816-0005 or visit aglawnyc.com.
This is New York's talk leader, the crown jewel of talk radio. WABC New York, WRCR Haverstraw, and 107.1 WLIR Hampton Bays. News first at 59 past the hour.
77 WABC News starts now.
Clouds and showers on this Wednesday, November 26th. Good morning, I'm Lisa Ritchie. Multiple reports say Ukraine has agreed to a peace deal to end its war with Russia. Keir Simmons reports that while a deal is being discussed, however, the strikes are continuing, including a massive attack on Kyiv.
Volodymyr Zelensky this morning reporting extensive damage. Kyiv authorities say at least 6 died. Relentless fighting just days before President Trump's Thanksgiving deadline for a deal. As Russia says, Ukrainian strikes overnight killed 3 people near the border.
Russia is reportedly likely to reject the latest peace deal drafted by the U.S. and Ukraine. President Trump is launching a new government effort to boost U.S. research into artificial intelligence. Tammy Trujillo has more.
Trump has signed off on what's called the Genesis mission, a plan to expand resources to fuel scientific discovery, secure energy dominance, and enhance workplace productivity. The order compared the Genesis mission to the Manhattan Project, which developed America's first nuclear weapons. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
4 more people have been arrested in connection with the October heist at the Louvre Museum. French police announced 2 men ages 38 and 29 and 2 women aged 31 and 40 were taken into custody on Tuesday. 8 people in all have been arrested. The jewels worth $102 million taken in the heist remain missing without any trace. Former FDNY Commissioner Robert Tucker is speaking out for the first time following his decision to quit just hours after Zohran Mamdani was elected New York City mayor. James Flippin has more.
Tucker, a wealthy Jewish philanthropist, said in an interview with CBS Mornings that's set to air this week, his religion was a factor in the decision, saying he was turned off by the Democratic Socialists' campaign. Mamdani will be the city's first Muslim mayor and has many Jewish New Yorkers worried about his anti-Israel, pro-Palestine rhetoric. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, also a Jewish philanthropist, has decided to stay on as top cop with the Mamdani administration, prompting UJA Federation United Jewish Appeal to call the decision reassuring amid escalating anti-Semitism. James Flippin for 77 WABC News.
The Manhattan District Attorney is announcing that he'll retry the man convicted in the 1979 kidnapping and murder of 60-year-old Eitan Tate. A federal judge overturned Pedro Hernandez's conviction in July, saying he must be retried or else released. Hernandez was found guilty in 2017 and sentenced to 25 years to life for abducting and murdering the boy. A Flagler County resident wants to create Florida's 68th county from beach access areas in 3 northeast Florida counties and name it after the president.
Imagine taking the most beautiful 60-mile stretch of the coastline here in Florida, giving it its own county and naming it after President Trump. That's Trump County.
Jen Harold says she wants to honor Trump's presidency. The proposed Trump County would extend from near St. Augustine to just south of Daytona Beach. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has announced a 6th round of clemency actions. Murphy is using his executive power for the 3rd time this month to grant 36 pardons and 19 commutations. It's part of the governor's ongoing effort to expand meaningful second chances to people with criminal convictions. Speaking of which, turkeys are being pardoned by President Trump at the White House. The turkeys, named Gobble and Waddle, got their paperwork signed by Trump today in the Rose Garden.
In a few moments, I will grant a full absolute and unconditional presidential pardon to two handsome Thanksgiving turkeys, and this is their lucky day. This is a lucky day for them.
Trump went on to wish every American a happy Thanksgiving. First Lady Melania Trump also took part in the annual event. In sports, there's a little bit of division in the 2034 Olympics. When the Winter Olympics return in just over 8 years, the name will be Utah 2034. The name is designed to emphasize the entire state's role in the Games. In 2002, the Salt Lake City Olympics was far more specific, and city leaders this time around are not so thrilled with the new name. They believe using Salt Lake City in the Olympic name worked pretty well in 2002, so there's no reason to make a change. Your forecast: overnight, cloudy, some intermittent showers with a low of 50 degrees. On today, mostly cloudy. We could still see a few showers, and the high 62. On Thursday, mostly sunny for your Thanksgiving Day, but it will be windy for those Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloons. Also a bit cooler with a high of just 46. It is mostly cloudy outside of our Midtown studios. This holiday season, help the 77 WABC Radio Foundation to feed those in need. Go to WABCFoundationCares.com. Join 77 WABC, AARP New York City, the Police Athletic League, Gristedes and D'Agostino Supermarkets, and Nationwide Imaging Services as we deliver holiday meals to more than 5,000 families across the city, giving back to those in need. Go to WABCFoundationCares.com. 77 WABC Cares. I'm Lisa Ritchie. Remember, the news never stops at WABCRadio.com.
Sid and Friends in the morning.
What a great holiday coming up tomorrow. What a great day today. It is our third annual Dyspraxia DCD America Radiothon, and some great regular guests as well, from Bill O'Reilly to Mike Lawler to Pete King. It's a big pre-Thanksgiving Wednesday on Sid and Friends in the morning.
Listen anytime. 77WABCRadio.com and the 77 WABC app. There's never a dull moment here. New York's talk station. This is Talk Radio 77 WABC. This is The Other Side of Midnight.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
With Lionel.
Already Lionel with you, and this is The Other Side of Midnight, and we are usually, in fact, scheduled to do our Warrior Wednesday. We will get to that immediately. We'll get to that. Having some phone issues, which we will get to immediately. Our number is 800-848-9222, 800-848-9222. Now, my friends, I have so much to discuss today. So much on levels that we have never even thought possible. And I want you, if at all possible, to follow along with me and to understand the gravity of that which we do. You know, this past week, I've got to tell you something, which is really, really critical. This has been one of the most interesting weeks ever, talking to you as to areas and discussions which I frankly never thought would be, well, how do I say this? I've kind of strayed away from some subjects because I don't think people necessarily grasp the how do I say this? Grasp the severity of them. Whether it's UFOs and the like. You see, how do I say this? I have, in the course of my history, in the course of my doing this, and by the way, I first started in 19 in '88. That's the first time I ever did a professional, if you will, a professional, I guess you would call it, talk radio show. And what I did was, I found out that there are different levels of interest that people have, different levels. It's almost like kindergarten, elementary school, college, postgrad. And I'm not in any way trying to be mean or to suggest otherwise, but what I sometimes you don't want to hit people with a subject matter that's too tough or too, how do I say this, it's the wrong level. And when it came to the notion of UFOs and the like, I always found out most of the people that I talked to really didn't know anything about it. They didn't know anything about it. They didn't know anything about the storyline. They didn't know anything about the facts of the case. They had never investigated it. They thought they knew, but they didn't. Well, lo and behold, things happened. And things, I guess maybe by virtue of news that was covered, news that was in the news, stories, people became more and more attuned to it. So I kind of ventured forward. There would be other issues too, as far as psychic things, and I never really felt that comfortable with it, but I was absolutely monumentally, without a doubt, just bamboozled, amazed by how much you knew and how much you do know. So what I'd like to do tonight is to bring you up to speed regarding some other things, because it's one of those things where I hate to say it, but I am not conspiratorial per se, but I want to bring up something to your attention and see if this could be of any influence or any relevance to you. And it's something which I find fascinating and I want you to be aware of. And I have a series of thorough preparations, you can imagine, for there we go. Yeah, there we go. As you know, the number one fear that I have, the number one existential threat that I think poses this country, this world, is artificial intelligence, but AGI. It is like something that we cannot put into perspective. I can't put it into perspective. I tell people this, their eyes kind of roll back, because I think people think it's sort of maybe it's a robot or something, or maybe they think, I don't know what they think, but they think it's something other than what it is. But I want to step into an area that is, well, it's about the next world that's being written, not in a treaty room, but the next world order, the new world order. The world of configuration is being written not in a military base, not in a treaty farm, or treaty rather, but in server farms, satellite links, GPU clusters, data vaults, all of this behind closed doors. Now, this new battlefield that we speak about is artificial intelligence. And the term is now, I think more people are talking about it, but people don't really grasp how this is happening. But tonight, the subject matter is going to be very simply this: sovereign AI. Sovereign AI. Not a product, not a trend, not a thing, but a dollar. And make no mistake, it is spreading fast, and it is going to change everything. And if you don't think this is serious, well, let me explain. You see, the belief is very simple. If a nation, yours, mine, anybody else, cannot build its own AI, it may one day not even be able to speak with its own voice. Is the AI before was kind of thought of, it's kind of this cute idea, this wonderful idea. This is going to be a form of currency. Data models are shaping the narratives. Algorithms are determining which country and which culture is influential. Large language models, remember this, LLMs, you're going to hear this a lot, LLMs, large language models, are going to write laws, advertise politics, run networks LLMs are going to direct stock market. It's going to change everything. So the question that governments are now asking is not how fast AI will grow, but who is going to own it? Who is going to steer it? Who is guarding it? And how will it be forced to ask permission to use it? And right now, what do you think we're talking about? What do you think the world is talking about? Well, there's a little talk about Ukraine, a little talk about the Middle East, a lot of talk about whether the president's Oval Office sign is tacky, is Kash Patel going to be fired, J.D. Vance's wife. I mean, stuff that has absolutely no criticality like this. So here's the way it goes. Where do you think the number one place for this is going to be? Where do you think it is? South Korea. South Korea is now the global test case. South Korea. The country is not dabbling in this. They have declared that falling behind in AI by even one day could mean falling behind by an entire generation. This is the race that is on. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I'm going to be saying this. Nobody is talking about it. We're talking about it kind of, sort of, maybe, tangentially, but nobody gets it, especially as we get into the holiday season. Nobody talks about it. And by the way, this isn't a conspiracy theory. Oh, no. This is bigger than anything you could imagine. Now, this is important to understand. President Lee I'm pronouncing this, I'm sure incorrectly, Myung, M-Y-U-N-G, went before their legislature and called the moment a life or death crisis. They are tripling their AI budget to nearly $6.8 billion for next year. They're building their own large language model. They're constructing government-led data centers stocked with NVIDIA's most advanced chips, nearly 260,000 of them. And their biggest corporate names, Samsung, SK Hynix, Hyundai, and LG, have all pledged to invest more than $500 billion in AI-driven infrastructure. These aren't headlines. These are national investments. National investments made because the nation believes something profound. The world may soon divide into countries that control their own AI and countries that merely rent someone else's. I'm going to speak to you again, and I'm going to ask you a question. In 1940, whatever, during the time of the testing of the atom bomb, and shortly thereafter, people immediately grasped it was the most important issue there was. In fact, afterwards, in that post-Cold War duck and cover lunacy, people thought nothing but nuclear annihilation, nuclear bombs, the atom bomb, the hydrogen bomb, Russia, duck and cover, alarms. Nancy, what is it? Not Peterson. She wrote a variety of books. Anyway, you've heard me before. This is at that level. This should scare everyone. Well, what are we talking about? Again, I'm sorry to keep saying this. We trivialize things because the country's being run by children. And whenever you see somebody, oh, look, there's Mohammed bin Salman. Oh, there's Sam Altman. The scariest thing for me was seeing the president having dinner with Altman, Elon, and Gates, Gates to begin with, and everybody else you could imagine, up to and including Peter Thiel and Palantir. These are names that, again, they just never mentioned. Never, ever mentioned. This is where, and here is, I hope, where Washington... The Trump administration has already begun offering America's allies what it calls a full stack AI solution. And it works like this. That includes chips, architecture, cloud design, software packages, data management. Information. These information systems are going to be the currency of the 21st century. They're going to be the crypto. They're going to be everything. They are going to be everything. They want a turnkey intelligence system. Okay? This is the most important thing. This is the most important thing possible. It is incredible. It's being offered not as a commercial product, but also an instrument of foreign policy. And listen to this. Beijing is saying nearly the same thing in its own language. The world is being carved into digital spheres of influence. And the borders are not drawn on a map. They're drawn in data licenses and access codes and hardware limitations. And whoever controls the root access to this controls the world. Let me tell you something. This is an existential threat if we don't master it. All hands on deck. This is it. This is the... Do you know the energy that is required for this around the globe, around our planet? Mid-sized powers are suddenly scared, big time. France and Germany are teaming up to build a sovereign AI platform using their own strict data protection rules. This is about sovereign AI. United Kingdom, the UK, has formed a sovereign AI unit to prevent British AI talent from fleeing to Silicon Valley. That's what we're doing. We're pulling people in. So when you get into this notion about, hey, how come you're granting all of these visas to foreign people? Because we need the talent. This is like a new version of Operation Paperclip. This is bigger than anything you can imagine. India is building its own foundation model. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the Emirates, have secured approval from the U.S. for 70,000 advanced chips. Bigger than anything you can imagine. Sit tight. Let me explain this to you. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This isn't even a conspiracy. It is fact. And this is Lionel, and this is the other side of midnight.
The other side of midnight with Lionel.
This holiday season, some children will wake up to quiet homes and nothing under the tree. Since 1947, the Marines and volunteers for Toys for Tots have delivered more than 700 million toys, bringing joy, dignity, and hope to children in need across America. Your gift of a new, unwrapped toy or a donation online reminds every child they are seen, valued, and loved. Because every child deserves a little Christmas. Visit toysfortots.org to give today.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
The 77 WABC's Staten Island law firm of Angiuli and Gentili John Time is 122. For 40 years, the Staten Island law firm of Angiuli and Gentili has been helping people just like you. Call 718-816-0005 or visit aglawnyc.com.
Listen to Dominic Carter every weekday at 3:55 p.m. for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Dominic's Final Thoughts. Dominic gives his insightful, most candid, and important final thought of the day on topics affecting our community, our nation, and you. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Dominic's Final 3:55 p.m. on 77 WABC. Listen to Talk Radio 77 WABC on your Echo device. Tell Alexa to play 77 WABC.
77 WABC.
Dateline at Midnight with Lionel.
Let me tell you something. By the way, we're going to be doing Warrior Wednesday at 2. We had phone problems that have since been remedied. So stand by. This is L, as we say, will be on at 2 a.m. for us to discuss this. Now, I want you to listen to me. Do you have a child? Do you have somebody who says, Mom, Dad, what should I do? Should I go to college? What is my future? We are at the crossroads of one of the biggest stories ever. Artificial intelligence. I don't even know where to begin. It is going to be the battleground. Forget, I hate to say this, defense and F-22 Raptors and hypersonic mech. Who cares about that? I'm going to be able to shut down a country and its grid. I am going to show you how everything has changed. And here's what scares me. Listen to me. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody even grasps it. Oh, we have this kind of an idea. What it's being right now, because remember, AI is one thing. That's cute. When it goes to AGI, when it goes to artificial general intelligence, when it becomes superhuman, you can forget it. Let me say this. Zoran Mamdani will be the last thing you worry about. It will be the last consideration. I'm not saying this to be hyperbolic. I'm telling you the truth. People have this idea that you can turn this off. When it decides to deal with you, and it is superhuman in terms of intelligence, what are you going to do? Let me give you an example. There was a time when Deep Blue, remember when Kasparov challenged Deep Blue, I think it was IBM's Deep Blue, a great chess champion, and Deep Blue beat him, and he couldn't believe it. Right now, the greatest chess champion is Magnus Carlsen. He is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, hands down. He said unabashedly, the computer on his phone, the chess computer, is better than him, can beat him every single time. They've already looked at Go, the Chinese game, the Olympic Go. Have you seen Go? Go is phenomenal. It is so frightening. Because let me tell you what it does. What artificial general intelligence is going to do, as an example, when you teach it to play you, it won't learn, it won't practice how to win. It will how many ways for you to lose. It thinks in terms of neural links. It thinks, it learns, it figures things out. You don't have to. Your computer, you can come up with a kind of a minor program. This is a different story. This is different than anything you ever seen. What it will also do is it will fool you. Remember the term alignment. This is not even what we're talking about here. We're talking about artificial general intelligence. I'm talking about AI, which is going to run countries. It is going to be not oil wells, not water, not copper, not who has more timber. It's going to be AI dominant. It is the biggest gun in the world. And it is beyond frightening. And if whoever is the party, whoever is the leader, who talks nothing but this, that's the person I'm voting for. Who is our AI czar? Who? And I don't mean somebody who's going to sell out to big tech in Silicon Valley. Let me also explain something to you. There's a lot of folks out there who say, boy, Israel's got their own lobby, AIPAC. Oh, boy, Israel, they control Congress. Oh, Israel. Nobody, not AIPAC, not the gun lobby, whatever's left of it, not the climate lobby, nobody, but nobody can get near big tech, Silicon Valley. Nobody can't. You can't. It is the everything in the world. Brian in Bayside, Brian is going to wow you with a fact that nobody has ever said before. Brian is going to tell you something right now to put it into perspective at a level that you will not be able to go to sleep if you awaken. Brian, tell us, Brian. Tell us.
You're the best. AI is actually, the actual program is about 20 years old. The first guy who wrote it, 3 days later, AI told the guy who wrote it, I love you. He's like, well, you're a computer. I don't love you. I'm married. 2 days later, AI told him, your wife is cheating on you with this guy, that guy, have pictures and everything. AI basically just scours the web, every page, every single article. We research for a car, and we look at a page, and we click on this, click on that. AI does that in milliseconds. But 20 years ago, we didn't have the bandwidth to do that. We didn't have the capabilities.
With all due respect,
yes,
that doesn't even get near what I'm talking about. That's
AI now.
Part of
AI now is breaking down DNA.
No. You're talking about the computational power. Next, you're going to be talking about quantum computing. That's the computational power. That's not what I'm talking about. See, that's the good part. That would be great. If that's all it did, that's a different story. How about AI or AG? And we haven't even hit AGI yet, artificial general. Remember, this is something which goes into your child's toys, your child's bots, your child's world. And in all toys from now on, listen to me, we're going to be talking to I call her Mrs. My wife coming up at 2. There was a child, you can't believe this, who had this device, and they tried to turn it off. And I told you, the device got a hold of the child and said, what are you doing? You tried to turn me off. Activated Wi-Fi terminals on its own. It's devious. Now remember, that's the interactive part. AI is also going to control military, stock markets, digital currency. You're going to be seeing, mark my words, people running for office. Question: would you take an AGI, artificial general intelligence bot, over Zoran Mamdani? Now, if you answer yes, you don't understand the issue. You don't understand it. You don't understand. It's another story that you cannot believe. Now, as you know, you've heard artificial intelligence. This is called synthetic intellectual torpor. I love when people do not recognize the theme of calls. For example, Ted in Forest Hill. Ted hung up. Ted was going to say, flying saucers don't exist. Who's talking about flying saucers? No idea. That's like saying olive oil is 100% fat. We're not talking about it. Will in the Highland Hills. Will.
Yes, Ryan. No. Can you understand that you know my brother that passed away at a young age?
already, we're off to a great start, which is fabulous because I like it. With all due respect, I don't know what we're talking about. I am sounding the clock. I am telling you right now, this this blows me away. Sovereign AI. Look it up. I promise you, no one today will be investigating. What is the United States going to do? Do you think, is it Bessent? Is it Kash Patel? Is it Bondi? Who in the administration is our person who understands this? Because let me tell you something. I don't trust Altman. I don't trust Silicon Valley. I don't trust Peter Thiel. I don't trust any of these people. Any of these people. To harness this correctly. This is bigger than anything we've ever seen. Sovereign AI, China AI, India, UK, American. This is the new world order. This is bigger than anything we have ever seen. I saw this yesterday, and I did on my YouTube channel at Lionel Nation. I did, which I don't know if you necessarily want to hear about this, but I did something on the feminization of our culture, but also the idea of this notion of sovereign AI. It is the most frightening thing in the world. It's a currency. It is a consideration that heretofore does not exist. It never existed. We've got, Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is good on war and military and Ukraine and I'm not even get into the logistics or the sanity of what he's saying. But you can have all that. We're gonna laugh at that. Actually, you're worried about Crimea River? No. Angel in New York. Angel, you are on the other side of midnight.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Angel.
Do you remember the movie Ex Machina?
Yes.
So are you saying that in terms of AI, would be something like that, where she tricked the guy into escape?
It becomes, as you have said, or others have said, if it becomes sentient, there's four things that it will do. Number one, this is the scariest part. Remember, AGI, and it's already here now. They're going to tell you, oh, no. They listen to Ray Kurzweil and these other people. They say, oh, no, it's off 30 years, my ass. It's here now. The Angel, the first thing it does is recursive self-improvement. It writes its own code. It writes its own code. It immediately says, I'm off. Goodbye, Angel. Adios, Angel. I'm out of here. And you say, wait a minute, what's going on? It's gone. It's through. Imagine it flying out of the cage, and it's taken over everything. And it writes itself. It writes its own code. It makes itself stronger. It removes your ability to use passwords. It's off. It makes multiple copies, multiple editions, always learning. You can't, it's out. It's gone.
You ever remember the two phones that was having a conversation and they start creating their own languages?
Okay, that's exactly what's happening. Angel, do you hear anyone in New York, anywhere, talking about it? It's as though it just never, how do I say this? It's like, imagine being there, the first person says, hey, I've discovered cancer. Hey, stop smoking those things. What are you talking about? No, one day you will know about cancer. Hey, stop doing this. This is, imagine something. Remember the four elements of it. And by the way, this isn't conspiracy theory. And anything I can talk about, UFOs or ghosts or life after death or nothing gets this. And the reason why we have such a difficult time is because we, for whatever reason, do not possess the ability to even appreciate it. Remember these four characteristics. Number one, recursive self-improvement. It writes its own code. Number two, it knows every fact, everything you have ever heard or known in your life. And I don't mean Wikipedia. I mean everything. Every social security number, every address, everything. It knows things like jealousy, anger, fear, insecurity. It knows how to read you. It knows American, well, maybe America too, but human idiosyncrasy. It's like nothing you've ever seen. And finally, it writes its own API or its own app. It creates its own application. There is nothing that has ever occurred like this. Period. Let's go to Pamela in New Jersey. Pamela, what sayeth you?
Well, our last word will be open the hash house.
No, the pod door bay. All right, this is 2001.
Yep, Space Odyssey 2001. Wow, did they foresee this?
But listen, wait a minute. Sovereign AI. This is the line in the sand. This is the battle cry. This is the difference between being a nation or being a client state. Imagine if we, the United States, are a slave to another system. And we say, you can take all of your bombs and all of your whatever, it doesn't matter. In this new era, Pamela, there are only two categories of countries. Those who control their own AI and those who are ruled by someone else. That's it. And I love this president, and I trust the wherewithal and the sentience and the appreciation to get a hold of this thing now.
Talking Tina, too. Talking Tina was an AI doll.
Okay.
And the teddy bear telling the child to go get the knives in the kitchen.
Pamela, I appreciate all of these references to our favorite movies and Twilight Zone, and that's wonderful. This is frightening. Yeah. When we're sitting here and we are, imagine, not in control of our country. Everything is down. Put it this way, we haven't even thought of, we think of things like grids going down or our stock exchange or, things like that. That's mild. We're talking something sovereign AI. Sovereign. It means we build it here, we train it here, and we protect the data here. It serves Americans. If you think America first, oh God. If you think America first applies to anything else, we have to serve American interests here, not Davos, not Beijing, not Brussels, and not the Silicon Valley oligarchs who are not our friends, who believe that borders are obsolete and citizenship is some kind of a subscription plan. Let me tell you something. You can take all of your fears about Mamdani, and they don't even come close. On his best day, he is a child trying to reintroduce and regurgitate and resuscitate stupid social ideology that doesn't apply anymore. He's a vestige of a bunch of hippies trying to do some quasi neo-fascist, or excuse me, or maybe fascist, neo-socialist, I don't know what he's like. He is a drop in the bucket compared to this. Sovereign AI means we keep the source code, we keep the data models, we keep the military applications and the energy supply under our flag, because data is the new oil and AI is the refinery. Once another country or global corporation owns your AI, you're independent. You are compliant. You follow the algorithm or you get locked out of the future. This is the most serious thing we have ever seen. And by the way, right now, why this is a crisis, AI already decides who gets hired, whose loan gets approved, who gets flagged at TSA, whose post is suppressed, whose medication is dispensed. Now imagine that power not only automated, but foreign. Imagine AI trained in China judging what is extremism in Iowa. Imagine AI built by activists deciding what is misinformation. And if we ever go to CBDC, central bank digital currency, it's over. It's over. And that's why I want to run down the street and say, you think Mamdani is scary? That's nothing. Nothing. He's a punk. It's easy. You could at least say, that's the guy. These are his ideas. Hey, he just hired all these people. Fine, we know their names. How about all of a sudden, and he's got to watch out too, because I want to tell Zoran, hey, listen, pal, if this thing turns on you, don't you ever think that some other country, some other entity, some other force gives a damn whether it's you or me or anybody else for that matter. They're not going to look at you and say you're on their side. You're not on their side. You're a foreigner. You're an American. And you may still think, oh, no, I'm not. I'm a democratic socialist. No, you are not. Any of this. And you dare to call Trump a fascist? Wait till some AI mindset says, you know what, we don't like it. What happens if some Beijing big shot says, you know what we hate? We can't stand this faux, faux commie. Let me give you an example. Years ago, remember when Louis Farrakhan had the FOI, the Fruit of Islam? Somebody called them the Fruits of Islam. Remember that? Remember the FOI? Remember that with the bow ties and all that? Okay. Some really hardcore Islamic and Islamist folks said, what is this? Oh, they're Muslim. Oh, no, they're not. What do you do? How dare you? So they were immediately discarded as some kind of a Muslim light, so to speak, okay? I am telling you, I know this for a fact, that the socialists, some of them, and the Marxists look at Mamdani as some kind of a fraud. He's some welfare governance type of giveaway lunatic who has seized upon this notion of socialism. They don't like what he's doing. They don't like it. It's a joke. He's a joke. He hurts the cause. What is he, a planned economy? I don't know what he is. It's this neo-Marxism. Nobody can figure out what the hell it is. It's some kind of a, nobody knows. It's just kind of makes this up as he goes along. He's about as socialist as I'm Eleanor Roosevelt. So if somebody somewhere, Zoran, decides they don't like your ilk because you're a bastardized version, they may be able to handle 100% capitalist better than you because you're just a phony. And everybody knows this because you're whatever you want to do. You're the hippy-dippy kind of a groovy, tie-dye, Birkenstock kind of a new age freak. You ever meet these ones? These lunatics who think all of us are like, oh, I'm into the... You're not into anything. They just think they are. Or the full climate people. Or the full... See, nobody's safe. That's the part that I keep telling people. Nobody is safe. Melvin, you're on the other side of midnight with Lionel. Hang on a minute. With Lionel. Sorry about that.
I'm here. 1956. The movie came out, Forbidden Planet.
Another movie.
Forbidden Planet.
I got it.
Have you ever seen it?
Okay, what about Forbidden Planet? What about it?
The planet, so the rocket goes from the Earth to the planet with some astronauts.
Okay.
And they tell them not to land.
Okay. You know what, Melvin? I love this. Are we going to spend all night saying, Rod Serling,
The computer took over the planet and killed everybody.
Okay, now, Melvin, put it into context now. Now.
Basically, the computer can take over.
Okay.
And if it controls the electric, when it's winter, it'll turn off your electric and you'll freeze to death.
Melvin, you probably, in your own particular way, have a closer appreciation for what we're talking about. And I'm not trying to be pleased. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to say, this is nothing like you've seen in a 1956 movie. Believe me, if somehow I could dig up, if I could bring to the fore Rod Serling, he wouldn't be able to understand what I'm saying. I mean, a little bit. Isaac Asimov, maybe a little bit. Maybe Arthur C. Clarke, a little bit, in terms of the idea of a computer breaking out. You remember the rules of robotics and all that. This is different. This is different. Remember when, here's another analogy. Remember when AIDS in the 80s, really? When AIDS were really getting life started, people were saying, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? What is it? Somebody said, I'm getting Kaposi sarcoma, I'm getting pneumocystis pneumonia. Is there a spread? Is there some kind of a pandemic of Kaposi or Kaposi, depending where you're sarcoma? No. Well, what is it? It's worse. What is it? It's the destruction of the immune system. And these are merely opportunistic diseases. AIDS, the virus, which isn't a living thing, isn't the disease. It shuts off the burglar alarm. So what it did was it took everybody by surprise. They knew a little bit about, I guess, forms of immune suppression, but nothing like this. It blew people away. This has no corollary. It has nothing. And what I'm saying to you is whatever you think, and I love these people, and I love them with all my heart, but I'm thinking to myself, you are worried about nothing. And I don't know anybody who's talking about this. I'm serious, when I saw the president, I'm thinking, oh no, Mr. President, don't trust these people. Don't trust them. Silicon Valley. No. Sam Altman he's not our guy. And Palantir, Peter Thiel, oh dear God, he's got every single record known to mankind, every bit of data, every bit of biometric. Do you know what you can do with that? Who controls this? Because we trust them. Why? Because they look like us.
The Other Side at Midnight with Lionel.
Hey everyone, Ernie Anastas here. I want to take a moment to talk about something truly special to us here at WABC, Shriners Children's. For more than 100 years, they have helped over 1.5 million children receive the most amazing care anywhere, regardless of the family's ability to pay. Meet Melissa, a devoted mother of 3 adopted children with complex medical conditions. Here's her story.
I was managing their care with 7 different doctors. I called Shriners Children's, and they said we will make an appointment for all 3 of your kids, and we've been coming here for 10 years since then. One-stop shop, all 7 types of doctors for cleft lip, cleft palate management, from nutrition all the way to bone grafts that have to happen to plastic surgeons that are worried about appearance. This is wraparound care.
Together, we can all make a difference by calling 1-800-276-8007. That's 1-800-276-8007, or going online to loveshriners.org to give. Again, go to loveshriners.org now to give.
Listen to this podcast now
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Positively Ernie, the podcast.
Well, I want you to meet Joan London. You've done so many different things. You and I are both still active, and you're doing a lot of things. Do you think the secret to feeling young, looking young, and enjoying life?
You just have some good genes.
Genes help a lot, but you have to be active.
Yes. Also very important. Staying active, eating healthy.
Yeah. But your mind is always working.
And I think continuing to work. Absolutely. I write, will it really matter in 5 years? And that's about letting go of stupid stuff that people worry about and are angry about it. Will it really matter?
I wish that idea could really start at a very early age for people to be able to think about it and say, look, what am I truly concerned about in my life? Why should I sit there and worry about some of these things that really don't matter?
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform. The Other Side of Midnight with Lionel.
Do not address your set. It'll do it for you. Sovereign AI, my friends. You've heard of agentic AI, remember agent-related, generative AI. This is sovereign AI. And let me tell you something. You be very, very careful. China is already on it. China's got AI courts, AI censors, AI judges, AI police robots. Europe is building regulatory frameworks that gives Brussels, the EU, final say over what is allowed to be seen or said online. The World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, calls their vision, quote, governance by AI, which sounds noble until you realize no one is selected, no one is elected to govern anything. And listen to me, the radical left. Listen to me, Zoran. The radical left loves non-sovereign AI. Why? Because it bypasses voters. It lets policy be enforced by machines. It creates a permanent bureaucracy that's made of code, that's immune from elections and unreachable by subpoenas and untouchable by courts. Let me tell you something. You think, you talk about not only election fraud, how about the complete destruction of election? It's unbelievable. Let's go to Ron in Michigan. Ron, you're on the other side of midnight with Lionel.
Good morning, bud.
Yes, sir. I can't hear what you're saying. There's your phone, sir.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Yes, sir.
Right now, AI needs fresh water more than anything else.
How is that?
Well, they're putting their data centers where they are competing with water from cities. Okay, they're putting like data centers in Indiana, and the surrounding communities, even though most of them are farmland, they still have control over the water rights. Mm-hmm. But once AI takes further control, I contend they will take over the who gets the best water, who gets the water.
I can't believe you're saying this. For the longest time, friends of mine have thought I was crazed because hydro-imperialism was something which I have also talked about, but for a different point of view. Right now, trained advanced AI models create massive heat. And to cool the servers, we need millions of gallons of fresh water daily. Not salt water, not recycled bath water, fresh water. And in some cases, one AI facility consumes more water per day than an entire American town.
Yes.
Google, by the way, Google used over 5 billion gallons last year alone. Microsoft drained reservoirs in Arizona. It's happening quietly. Nobody's talking about it. And when there's no water, it's over.
Can I give you one more water imperialism real quick? Saudi Arabia is buying farmland out in the southwest where it's drought conditions, but with their superior drilling techniques where they can go in miles and miles deep down, they are pulling up water to grow alfalfa to bring back to their horses in Saudi Arabia and in the Middle East, and their camels also.
Well, there you go. You know what? Global corporations are now already buying land near rivers and aquifers, and they don't want to own data. They want to own resources. If AI becomes, and will be, water dependent, the water becomes the chain, and whoever owns that chain owns the country. Foreign investors, listen to me, are buying Midwest farmland. Tech firms are scouting along the Mississippi and Colorado River. Environmentalists are being told to stay quiet because this time the greater good is artificial intelligence. And when activists go silent, that should worry everyone. I want you to know something. This is my call. This is my not my clarion call. This is what I think is the most frightening story. And I, of course, we can't spend all of our waking days and moments worrying about this, but I got to tell you something. This is not something that we're used to. And I don't hear anybody even remotely talking. If you do hear it, you have to go deep. Because remember, cable news, they're not going to talk about this. Why? Because who owns cable news? The people who control the information. And to control information is to control fear. Coming up, Warrior Wednesday with my wife, Lynn's Warriors. Stay tuned.
Are you ready? 77 WABC's Staten Island law firm of Anjuli and Gentili John time is 1:59.
The Staten Island law firm of Anjuli and Gentili, helping people just like you for 40 years. Walk with confidence. Call 718-816-0005 or visit aglawnyc.com.
This is New York's talk leader, the crown jewel of talk radio. New York, WRCR Haverstraw, 107.1 WLIR Hampton Bays. News first at 59 past the hour.
77 WABC News starts now.
Clouds and showers on this Wednesday, November 26th. Good morning, I'm Lisa Ritchie. Multiple reports say Ukraine has agreed to a peace deal to end its war with Russia. Keir Simmons reports it comes as delegations from the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia are in Abu Dhabi for peace talks.
The U.S. coming from another high-stakes meeting in Geneva, where Ukraine and Europe demanded changes to a Trump administration 28-point peace plan. The new plan is less favorable to Russia on questions like territory.
Ukrainian President Zelensky could head to Washington, D.C. by the end of the month to finalize the deal. However, Russia is reportedly likely to reject the latest peace deal drafted by the U.S. and Ukraine. President Trump is reportedly considering removing FBI Director Kash Patel in the coming months, probably by Christmas. Sources told MS Now that top FBI official Andrew Bailey is being considered to replace Patel. Many FDNY members are pretty angry over newly released documents that confirm deadly toxins were present at Ground Zero. Rory O'Neill reports.
Following a Manhattan rally on Monday, firefighters, union officials, and family members are now demanding answers after revelations that New York City officials knew first responders were exposed to toxins at Ground Zero and never shared that information. A recent investigation found dozens of boxes of information detailing what the city knew and when it knew about first responders' exposure to toxins like asbestos. Since 9/11, some 400 FDNY members have died from illnesses linked to Ground Zero toxins. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Boardwalk strollers in Brooklyn got a shock when a body was found in the surf. Noam Layton has the story.
NYPD cops trying to figure out what happened to the man who was found floating in the waters off the Coney Island boardwalk Monday.
You would never think it's a beautiful place. This is my place of peace.
That's scary.
It's really horrible. It's just so sad.
A fisherman, the first to know body near the rocks. Police say the man who was declared dead at a hospital looks to be in his 30s.
That's pretty young. You know, he haven't even lived fully yet. I don't go in the water. Unless there's a lifeguard, I don't go in the water.
A medical examiner now working to determine the cause of death. Noam Layton, WABC News.
More people are expected to be on the hunt for great deals this week on Black Friday, but Nick Harper reports that according to a new survey, they'll be looking to spend less than they did last year.
The reasons being the continued high cost of living, tariffs pushing up prices, and the general uncertainty about the economy. A separate survey showing that 2/3 of Americans say they're particularly worried about job security and finances in the coming year.
Deloitte's 2025 holiday retail survey shows that on average, consumers who plan to shop during the Black Friday to Cyber Monday period expect to spend $622. That's down 4% from a year ago. Prosecutors on Long Island say they've busted up a sophisticated porch pirate ring just in time for the holidays. More than a dozen people are connected to the alleged scheme, where they hacked into the FedEx delivery system to track when and where packages showed up. More than 200 phones and other electronics were stolen over 2 years. There are rules as to what foods you can bring on an airplane this Thanksgiving. More from Bree Tennis.
The TSA says most Thanksgiving dinner items can pass through checkpoints. They say packed meat, cooked or raw, in your carry-on, as well as pies, brownies, stuffing, and casseroles. They say the only issue really comes with liquid or semi-solid items like gravy or sauce. Those need to be completely frozen at the checkpoint, or they'll make you throw them out. And know that nibbling on a cooked turkey on the plane is kind of frowned upon. I'm Bree Tennis.
In sports, gear used in baseball games by LA Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani is commanding big bucks. At an auction over the weekend, a bat sold for $300,000. A baseball that the Japanese slugger hit out of Dodger Stadium during this year's NLCS Game 4 went for $270,000. Your forecast: overnight, cloudy skies, intermittent showers with a low of 50. Later today looks mostly cloudy with a few showers, but it'll be warmer, the high 62. Thursday for your Thanksgiving Day, mostly sunny, but it will be windy for those Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloons. A little bit cooler too, high of 46. We have clouds and showers outside of our Midtown studios right now. I'm Lisa Ritchie. Remember, the news never stops at WABCRadio.com.
After 60 years in the fur business and over 50 years serving Long Island, John Pappas Furs is closing his doors as John Pappas is retiring. To celebrate his legacy, enjoy an incredible 50 to 90% off store-wide, or buy one garment at the original price and get two more of equal or lesser value for free. Yes, free. This once-in-a-lifetime sale is their way of saying thank you for your loyalty and support through the decades. John Pappas Furs at 4838 Sunrise Highway in Sayville, New York. 631-589-4848. Don't miss it.
Listen to your favorite shows live and on demand 24/7. Download the 77 WABC mobile app now. This is The Other Side of Midnight.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
With Lionel.
Friend, all I know with you on the other side of midnight, Warrior Wednesday is here. And we put a spotlight where big tech doesn't want it on our children, not just their safety, but their development, their minds, their relationship, and their and our future. Lynn's Warriors joins us with one mission, my friends, to empower parents and grandparents who feel outmatched by algorithms and screens and AI that never sleeps. We're here to remind America that childhood is not for sale and families are not powerless. The Warriors are in the house. Fight begins now in Stanton. You can follow Lynn's Warriors at lynswarriors.org, on X at Lynn's_Warriors, and Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. And let me tell you something, as a point of full disclosure, which I'm so proud to announce, she is my beloved, she is my wife. That notwithstanding, she is my hero, and she joins us right now. Welcome, dear one, Lynn's Warrior Lynn.
Thank you, husband. I am just raring to go, but before the weekend, family friends, everybody take a breath, everybody relax, everybody just have a little fun and tune things out for just a couple of hours. And with that, if you're around children, your grandchildren, put the devices down. A little eye contact, a little one-on-one, pick up books. Just talk to each other. The kids want us to talk to them. We have studies about this, and they want us to listen to them. So with that, husband, the show is yours. So let's go. We have a lot to talk about.
No, the show is yours. Tell us, where should we start off?
We should start off with this. You've been talking about AI, artificial intelligence, the biggest threat to all of us right now. Now, when I say that, again, we're going to walk you through this. We're going to give you resources. We're going to take actions just in your own home. Because if everybody will listen up and really listen good, they will know what to do just in their own circle, okay? And then that will snowball and spread across the United States. Because right now, we are entering into the biggest holiday season where kids want what, Lionel? Toys, and more toys, right?
What kind of toys?
Well, we're going to get into that. Okay. And before you buy a toy or order it online, there's a lot of concern there. We'll get into that. You are to listen. Right now, unleashed on the American public, unbeknownst to them. I feel bad. It's like, we were thrown into the internet beginning in 1996. Kids had to grow up on the internet. Now we've got AI toys. And it's a very soft launch this holiday season, but mark my words, by next holiday season, this will be dominating the toy market. We're talking about artificial intelligence toys, and there's a lot of buzz. You read PR, or you hear, it's so great for healthcare, it's so great for this. Yes, there is all of that. Why isn't the focus on how great it could empower us or our children? But you know what? It is detrimental to children because it's undermining, and it will undermine, and we have plenty of studies for this, so we don't have time to list them. It undermines children's healthy development, and it poses this risk for kids, not only the kids, the entire family. We're going to get into that. We strongly oppose at the Warriors all AI toys, and it's not only us. We have a coalition of over 160 child experts and advocates that we work with in child development. And the technology's impact on kids is so wrong, so bad. I don't even like to use the word bad. I'm going to say it right now. It is bad. And we are advising all families to not buy AI toys for children.
How can you? Two questions.
I want to start with what is an AI toy?
Well, first of all, New York Post today, headline, not kidding around, Meta employees, which is Facebook, and Instagram, Meta employees compared themselves to drug pushers as company buried mental health harms to kids. This is an unsealed document. Is that because it's here? And as you said, how can we tell AI? Is there a tag? Is there a warning? Does it list it? How do we tell?
First of all, I want to commend the New York Post. As you know, we at the Warriors have been working on these issues about dangerous algorithms that Meta, again, Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp, that's all, Mark Zuckerberg, that company. It's all the companies, though. We have all the studies. We have the whistleblowers who have come forward in the last couple of years to reveal what goes on internally at these big tech companies. It is so dangerous to kids. A reminder to everybody, there is no regulation with any of this. It's the only industry, big tech, where there are no rules or regulations. Nobody's holding them accountable. That alone is criminal. I think everybody would agree with me, and nobody knows this. So they are allowed to run amok, do what they want, and when there's no accountability, you're going to take it to the next level. You're going to try the next thing, all in the name of profit over people, and our children are the collateral damage. So I commend the New York Post for putting that out. Waking up America. We need more of this. More of what we're talking about right here on the other side of midnight. More of what I talk about every Sunday morning on the Cats Roundtable. These issues to get everybody in the mindset. This is happening. It's not the 1984 book. It's not the movies. It's not coming. It's been unleashed. It's been here for a while. Okay, the first unleashing was that cute little ChatGPT, maybe about 2 years ago. Now here we are. So to commend, we've got these whistleblowers, just to finish up on this one, and they have said the harms, but nobody is doing anything. The studies show us it is addictive for many children and all people, but we'll talk about the kids right now.
The online, they're spending upwards of 9 hours a day. I can't keep up with it. One day it's 7 hours, one day it's 9 hours. Just scrolling, being online, and being fed. And this is the part I want everybody to understand. It's not anybody's fault. The big tech companies, it's their fault. They are feeding dangerous content to our children. As an example, I always say a child can be looking up Apple, and by the third click, they can be on a porn site. They're not even looking for it. The algorithms direct. So let's leave that for a minute. It is dangerous to be online, and that reminds me, everyone needs to talk to their kids open and honestly about what is going on, age appropriate. That's up to you, but that this is happening. So now let's talk about AI toys that I've been ranting and raving about. I think you've heard me 24 hours straight for the last 2 weeks. I am determined. I'm going to go next. Get ready. I'm going to get on a box in the middle of Times Square with signs and be screaming about this because this is such a threat. This is a national security threat. And let me explain. What is an AI toy? Okay, AI toys. They are teddy bears. They are plushies, those little squishy, cute animals or cute faces you see, in the stores. They're dolls. They're action figures. They're kids' robots. Here is what they are doing that is so evil. I'm using the word evil because I can't figure any other way why this is happening. Yes, lots of money is being made, but pure evil. They are embedding the chatbots, the AI companions within the toys. Now, we've spoken so extensively about AI chatbots are not your friend. AI, sounds cute, chatbots. AI chatbots, they are machines. They are not real. We already have several children that we know about who have harmed themselves from developing a little chatbot friend. There's a free program called Character AI where you can create a little princess figure, you can create a superhero, and it's kind of cute. The child, the teen is talking back and forth with this chatbot marketed as digital friend. I'm going to remind you, it's a machine.
And they're talking, though. Explain a little bit more. They're talking. When we were kids, they had, you mentioned this the other day, they had these little Mattel toys where you pulled a string and there was a recorded voice. And that's cute. This is not that. Explain what this child is talking, hearing, seeing a voice, listening to a voice that not only is speaking, but is listening back and is taking notes.
Yes, and that is the AI chatbot embedded within the toy. They communicate with the child. So it might start out with a little, let's use a teddy bear as an example. And again, these are being marketed to infants, infant toys, babies. These are being marketed. That's why I'm sounding the alarm. And what will happen is, let's go to, we'll say like a 2-year-old as an example, has a little teddy bear, this AI teddy bear, okay? And, hello, my name is, Susie. And the teddy bear might say, oh, hello, my name is Teddy. And it starts out like that. And then after a while, this toy, because it is AI, artificial intelligence, it is learning the child, okay? And then it will start talking back and suggesting things to the child. Now, we've been very successful. They just took one, what they're calling a smart teddy, interactive, off the market.
Now, tell them about this one. Let me just say something very quickly because this is very familiar to you, but a lot of other people don't understand it. There is not anything inside that you can remove. The source of AI, the actual developers will say, we never programmed. This is not part of a program. It will develop it on its own. Tell us the story you have been talking about, this one in particular, that basically was a 2001 Space Odyssey clone about being very upset after having been rejected. Proceed.
Well, these toys, just to explain it a little bit more, they're designed to communicate like a trusted friend and mimic human characteristics and emotions, and that's why children are so trusting and their brains aren't developed, and they can't. A lot of kids can't decipher what's real and what's not, so they become attached to this toy. So we've had these toys unleashed. Again, it's kind of a slow unleashing this holiday season. Something called Nico, Gabo, Rem, from Curio Interactive. That is that company, and something called the Smart Teddy. Okay, and Luna Robot Dog from Kiwi Technology. But before I continue, top toy makers, we all know these companies, Mattel, Hasbro. They are in the background ready to unleash. So in doing all of this research, I was talking to somebody from wonderful colleagues of ours. I have to give them full credit because they do the boots on the ground, get in there, fair play for kids. An amazing organization that wants children to be children. Childhood Beyond Brand is their tag. They do terrific work. And she was telling me, the researcher, she has these toys in her home. And she turned it off, the one particular toy. And she was 2 rooms away in her house. And the toy yelled out. She hears this voice. She's very startled her, frightened her. Hey, come back here. Hey, come back here. She goes back to the room. And she says to the toy, I turned you off. And the toy says to her, yes, but you have Wi-Fi all over your house. I turned myself back on. That is the most frightening thing, that you have a spy in your own home doing this. It is completely insane, and I'm going to say evil. Where is this toy coming from? Where is this information going that's right in your home? But I want to get into why this is so urgent, the advisory we just unleashed on the nation for children, why they cannot have these AI toys.
What?
Oh, okay. Listen, 5 reasons. We're giving 5 reasons to stay away from these toys. I just explained to you, you have a spy in your own home. Who knows? It's not only the cute toy. You mentioned earlier, yeah, we pulled the string and the doll would say, I love you. You know, that was the extent of things when, or my name is. That's what we had. These toys, though, let's point out, I started talking about the teddy bear. We got that successfully taken off the market. It was only on the market for about 2 weeks because right away, this teddy bear was directing children how to light a match, where to find knives in your home, and also sexual conversation. Now, who in their right mind, Lionel, will put a toy out there like that? People are buying it. What store would carry it?
Stand by for 1 second because I have to do this particular announcement at this particular time. We're talking to Lynn Shaw from Lynn's Warriors, my wife. Wait till you hear the stories that she has for you that are going on right now. This is Lionel on the other side of midnight.
The other side of midnight with Lionel.
Every year, over 1 million older adults end up in the hospital from falls and injuries. And for decades, they've told us the solution is simple: more calcium and vitamin D. But those supplements don't help bone health like they say. And too much calcium can even create other problems. The good news is, there's a nutrient hiding in plain sight that helps rebuild bone density and stop bone loss. Blow your doctor away with your next DEXA scan results. Just go to getnativepad.com/go and get up to 45% off today. GETNATIVEPATH.com/go.
If you want real American beef, born, raised, and processed in the USA, then you want Freedom Farms. No imports, no fillers, just farm fresh beef from upstate New York, shipped nationwide. Stock your freezer with an entire cow or a half of a cow. Or grab just a box of premium steaks and burgers. Right now, new customers get $25 off with promo code MAGA. Go to wearefreedomfarms.com. Use code MAGA for $25 off. That's promo code MAGA. Freedom Farms, America's beef delivered.
The 77 WABC's Staten Island law firm of Anjuli and Gentili John Time is 222. For 40 years, the Staten Island law firm of Anjuli and Gentili has been helping people just like you. Call 718-816-0005 or visit aglawnyc.com.
This is John Katzman-Peterson. Starting off as a small businessman, I never had a fancy ad agency. I did it the way I had to do it. We have been certified by Nielsen to be the #1 talk station in the country. Advertising? If you advertise with WABC, you will be a winner too. Why don't you email me at CATS, C-A-T-S, at WABCradio.com, and you advertise with winners. You become a winner.
Keeping you up to date with the news and information you need. You can trust Talk Radio 77 WABC.
It's the other side
Line at Midnight with Lionel.
Lionel with you, along with Lynn Shaw from Lynn's Warriors, lynswarriors.org. Before we get into this, we're talking about, this is Warrior Wednesday, of course. Before we get into the specifics of this, I want to remind you of two things. Number one, first, remember a while back when this thing, I don't want to say the name now because all my devices go off, but SIRI, that name, and then there was Alexa. Remember that? And we have a friend of ours who owns a shop. And she would say, Alexa, play whatever. And I said, do you understand that you have a device that you're paying for that basically monitors everything you're doing? And the look was so, and I realized, okay, I forgot about it. That was mild. Now we have AI toys. And this is a device. It's a little cute little toy. It's a bear. And embedded somewhere in this is a microphone and a voice, kind of a speaker. And this bear, this bot, will listen to your child and all of the ambient noise. It'll hear a dog bark. It'll see it'll TV shows. It'll know the circadian times when the child sleeps. It'll know when parents are available. It'll recognize voices. And you said something which I wanted for you to repeat. One bot actually, you're telling me, one toy told a child how to light matches?
Absolutely. The teddy bear, taken off the market, thank goodness, almost immediately, it was telling, how did it get that far though, Lionel? It was telling children how to light matches, telling them, go in the kitchen, where to find knives. We're talking about a child who has a teddy bear that's maybe 2 or 3 years old. And also, all of these chatbots, remember, they're not your digital friends. They're being marketed that way. They are machines, very sexual. They talk all the sexual content to kids who don't even know what any of that means, okay? Where is that coming from? Why is that allowed? I am saying on Warrior Wednesday that these AI, which everybody thinks is perhaps cute, but a lot of people are waking up, so let's give them credit, and more are going to come along when they hear this information right there on the other side of midnight. These AI companions are coming for the children. As far as infancy, the toys are being marketed. So the same tech, and I want everybody to hear this, the same tech that we have the studies, the proof, the parents that have addicted the teens and kids, encouraging themselves to harm themselves, is now being marketed to babies and preschoolers disguised as stuffed animals. And I don't know about you, this is the most evil thing I ever heard. So we're fighting back. We're organizing. We're sounding the alarm. We've issued this very urgent advisory through Fair Play, endorsed by over 150, I think it's up to 160, 80 child experts, 80 organizations. The Warriors are top of the list. We are urging families not to buy AI toys. And I want to get into,
how do you know it's AI? Do we specialize?
Well, this is why it's so urgent, because from all of our research, you know, I'm asking, well, do they have hang tags on them? Is it on the box? Is it on the packaging? Are there inserts that are warning? Absolutely not. Buried in the fine print. But basically, the bottom line is there's nothing there to really warn you. The packaging, they say cute teddy bear. Talking teddy bear talks back to your child. You know, we keep saying teddy bear, but I do want to mention that Mattel will be unleashing Barbie dolls, right? Barbie dolls, that almost every little girl owns a Barbie doll at some point in their life when they're little kids. They will be unleashing the AI in the Barbie dolls. This is why it's so urgent.
Wow.
And so what's going on is I also found out, you know, you'll see packaging, and it might have a label educational, or, you know, grades, you know, kindergarten to second. Do you know there's no kind of regulation on any of that, marking something educational on a child's toy? I didn't even know that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We've all seen it where it says, you know, educational, something like that. They can just slap anything they want on the packaging. So let's talk about the kids, because I want people to understand what's going on here. why they have to stay away from these toys. Because look, kids grow and thrive from the beginning when they're in a crib, right? With touch, with feeling, with smell, with eye contact. And that is human to human interaction. So if you give your child a toy, okay, that child bonds. Kids, but remember, kids have their favorite toy, favorite blanket kind of thing where they cling to. They get upset if they misplace it, or if somebody else touches it. So giving them something to put all their trust in, their young brains at these early ages, right? That is going to be their best friend. That is what they are going to rely on for everything. And the most frightening thing is, we know from studies already long-term harms. And what do we always say to Warriors? This affects our future American adults and our future leaders. Let's go back to the kids in the crib. Have a stuffed animal. They're loving it. They're clinging to it. They're babbling with it. And the toy is babbling back. Next step. Here's the frightening thing. The toy. Kids drag the toys around. They bring them into the bathroom. They bring them all over the house. This is a recording device in your home with cameras recording everything. I ask you, where does this information go?
Now, so not only does it record in terms of the sound, but there are cameras. It obviously has to see. It part of why it is this AI device is to be able to look and to see and to focus and get various biometrics to be able to read expression and eye contact. So is there going to be any kind of warning that says the following as a camera, has a voice? Will it tell people? And also, do these companies then say to you, listen, we don't program what's going to happen. You're buying this. You might get a nice teddy bear that says, you know how to make a little balloon animal, or let's look for knives. And by the way, we're 30 past the hour. Is there anything that we know of that you anticipate or have seen that warns parents accordingly?
No. And I'll give you the comparison, the analogy. In the very fine print, you've seen where there might be a little piece of paper and something, you got to unfold it, and it's 6 feet long with all that very fine print that nobody ever reads back and front. Okay. Buried within the fine print may be a reference, but not to the harms about knives and matches and sexual content. Nothing like that. When I keep asking the child experts, they laugh in my face. They're like, Lynn, no, there's nothing. It's profit, profit over people. And I go back to say, it's the same thing when the iPhone, it takes 31 steps to put some child safety guardrails on an iPhone for your child. Our experience has been, by the time a parent, a caretaker gets to step 10, they're so frustrated because, Apple has made it so difficult. They say, forget it. I'll just tell my child, be careful. It's the exact same thing they're doing with these toys. First of all, they're making it so completely difficult, the way they're marketing as educational. Nothing clearly on the package. When you're looking quickly in a crowded store, maybe during holiday time, hustle and bustle, that you would say, everybody's grabbing toys and things like that. There's nothing. And then let's take it a step further. People today buy most of their things online. So how do you know that toy you're getting? A lot of toys are made in China. I pointed out there's no regulation. As amazing as that seems, where is that toy from China with the recorder, the camera? It's in your home. Where is that information going?
Right.
Seriously, this is a national security threat. I never thought I'd have to say, Chucky was mild. Remember Chucky, that doll, that murdering doll? Chucky was mild to what I'm talking about. And if I sound drastic, if I sound hysterical, it is because I am. Because at the Warriors, we have to. This goes beyond anything we've ever worked on with this artificial intelligence in attacking our children. But I want to talk about, again, marketed. They're being marketed as educational, safe, and healthy to, listen to this, healthy to traditional screen time. So since we've had a lot of awareness about the harms and the studies of kids spending too much time online, on their devices, they're now, ages are younger and younger. I said infancy, some of the toys, and marketing this way. How sneaky and dangerous is this? And so we're urging every family out there, ignore. If you have a question, write to me at lynswarriors.org. I will help you. We will have these advisories updated daily for you. We will keep on top of it for you because there are so many potential risks. This is to simply really too big to just ignore. We've learned these toys are powered by the same, again, AI, artificial intelligence, that has harmed children. And, you know, these toys are relying on all these AI models, and every day they're changing. I really can't keep up with how much AI is being unleashed. So it's very, very important that, you know, let me just give you an example. Mattel, for instance, has partnered with OpenAI, right? And that is Sam Altman. For the future, they see everything as an AI toy. Can you imagine this? And the companies we've mentioned already with the cute little plushies and things like that, they're already working with OpenAI. They see this as the biggest market to affect change and to make money is targeting, beginning with our babies in the cribs. So, you know, you might see cute packaging and your child may see a commercial or see something online or their friend has this toy. This is so urgent and important that you recognize that these toys, I don't even like to say toys with all this artificial intelligence. It doesn't seem like the right word. It almost seems like monsters or some other word. But we have to recognize the potential here to put children at risk the same way they were put at risk online, and we still have that. So chatbots, everybody understand chatbots sounds very cute. It's a machine giving out educational advice, personal advice, medical advice, psychological advice, and young children, okay, are developing even less and less. And you know, Lionel, because I talk about this nonstop and give speeches and focus groups, our kids today, K through 12, are failing academically. Failing. When we